Chapter 33, The Final Task and He's Back. Well, today was the day of the final task. Severus was blaming Harry and the others still for stealing the ingredients to make the Polyjuice potion. That puzzled all of us, especially me, but Severus has been refusing to discuss it with me. Anyway, I'm scared, anxious, and nervous about what may be to come, but I can't stop anything now. I just hope nothing bad happens to anyone. I don't wish it. I have been talking to Cedric for the last few minutes, and now he and I were hugging each other. I didn't want to let go. I had a bad feeling. As we finally let go, tears formed in my eyes. "Oh, Miranda, please don't cry. I'll make it out, I promise. Harry and I both will." He wiped my tears from my cheeks as I faked a smile. It warmed my heart that he mentioned Harry too, but I didn't want him to see me this upset. It'll partly kill me if anything bad happens to him, or Harry. During the late summer, I didn't know Cedric well, but over time, he and I had a chance to get to know each other, and now we've become fast friends. But I can't shake this horrible feeling of something going wrong. He grabbed my hand for comfort, and he kissed my forehead as I softly stated, "Thanks for being a great guy and friend, Sid." He chuckled and responded, "You're welcome, and thanks for being a sweet, one-of-a-kind friend." I giggled and blushed in response. "It's no problem. Please be safe." We noticed that his dad wanted to come to him as he stood close to Cedric. He turned to me and looked in my eyes. "Just in case I don't make it out alive, Miranda. I love you, friend." We both hugged one last time as I responded, "I love you too, Sid." He walked away to his dad as they saw him, and Harry came up to me with tears forming. I noticed that he seemed very anxious about this as well, so I smiled softly at him to try and reassure him a bit. "No news in this." He softly smiled back and whispered in my ear, "I have a bad feeling about this, Miranda." "So do I, Harry. Trust me, I do too." Hermione even said that she was scared for me. I don't blame her. I'm scared and nervous about this too. Overall, I can understand that with Hermione being scared. I mean, the four of us are all close to each other. Yeah, sure, there were issues between Harry and Ron with their friendship this year, which put me and Hermione in the middle of it, but it all worked out fine. I glanced over in the stands, immediately seeing Hermione, Ron, George, and Fred. A couple of rows down, I saw Severus being watched by some of the other teachers as he looked up at me. I politely smiled softly at him as he nodded his head towards my way, and I turned my attention back to Harry. My mind started spinning with thoughts of what could go wrong and how something wasn't adding up. I unknowingly started to shake with fear as Harry noticed this and wrapped his arms around me carefully and comfortably, but I knew that he was nervous too. I sighed as I started to feel better just by him hugging me like this. "It will be all right in the end, Miranda. Trust me, I'll make it out safely and be careful." "I trust you, of course, Harry. Please be very careful and good luck, Harry." "Thanks, Miranda, and don't worry. I will." I softly smiled at him and he smiled back, despite unspoken words neither of us had to say. Then he suddenly braced me a little tighter for comfort, and he soon let go. It was like he somehow knew and sensed how worried I was, and I could tell that he was scared too. Maybe it is visible in my actions and the look on my face, but I don't know for sure. Suddenly, the music started to play from the band as Harry walked away, and I decided to head to my seat because that meant the task was about to begin. I found my place and stood with the others in the stand. I watched as Professor Dumbledore walked and started speaking in the middle of the near where I was standing with Harry. Just as he was done speaking, the sound of the cannon went off, and I held my breath. I looked towards Dumbledore as I hoped he could see me. It seemed like he felt that I was worried, and he softly smiled my way. I looked at Severus down below as I looked into his eyes. He mouthed to me, for me only to see. "It will be okay. Don't worry, love. I don't know if things will be fine, however, but we will see." Around a half hour later. Just seeing a bright spark from the maze earlier, I knew it couldn't be good news. We're all basically waiting around to see what happens as a result. I'm unsure if it is easy to tell that I'm on edge of being anxious. Hermione noticed I was and rubbing my back, trying to ease my nerves. "Miranda, I'm sure Harry will make it out. Ron and I are scared too. You're not alone." I stood up and responded, "It's not only Harry, but I'm worried that something will happen to Cedric." Hermione opened her mouth to say something as I stated, "I'm going for a walk. I'll be back shortly." I got out of the stands and walked away from everyone so I could be around silence to clear my head for once. I clicked on walking some more until I couldn't hear anything but quietness. I then heard rustling, which startled me. I turned around and saw Severus. Bloody hell, hun, you scared me. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. He passed and asked, Miranda dear, are you okay? What's wrong? I was silent for a moment until I shook my head and looked up at him. I don't know. I'm worried and scared, love. You know exactly what I'm terrified might end up happening, Severus. I know you are, but I knew he was going to say it would be all right, but we knew otherwise. I noticed his arm was behind his back. I asked, love, what's wrong with your arm? Nothing. It's fine. No worries, sweetie. No, it's not. Let me see it, Severus. I reached my arm out to grab it, but he moved back. His voice got cold as he stated, Miranda, don't. Severus, please let me see your arm. I don't care, and you know that. He sighed as he lifted his sleeve, and his dark mark was moving. No. My nightmare really can't be coming true. Feeling scared, I asked, are you going to go, love? He didn't say anything, and I started to realize that my nightmare was coming true now. That means Cedric is going to get killed by Lord Voldemort. Bloody hell, I've got to stop this. Without saying anything, I ran as I heard Severus yell, Miranda, where are you going? Come back here. I yelled back, I'm going into the maze, Severus. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm not letting my friends die. I faintly heard him as he was chasing behind me. Sweetie, please don't. It's too dangerous. Miranda, please stop. I heard what Severus was saying, but I didn't care to stop. I have to find them. They're in danger, and they don't even know. Poor Harry will be traumatized. I ran past Dumbledore as he shouted, Miranda Parker, come back here. I turned around. I'm sorry, Professor, but my nightmare is coming true, and I can't let anything happen to Harry and Cedric. Before anyone could say anything or try to stop me, I bravely ran into the maze with my wand out. A few minutes later, I held my wand bravely in my hand, scared but trying to find Harry or Cedric. Then, in the distance somewhere, I heard shouting that sounded like someone saying, Harry! I quickly followed the sound to find Cedric getting pulled by some plant life stuff. I watched Harry hesitate for a moment, but then quickly ran and saved him as Cedric said, You know, for a moment there, I thought you were going to let it get me. I stood some feet behind him, not saying anything. Harry responded to Cedric. For a moment, so did I. Some game, huh? Some game. Harry turns around and sees me as he asks in surprise, Miranda? What on earth are you doing here? I looked at Cedric and it looked like he was wondering the same thing. I walked up. I'm sorry, guys, but I think my nightmare is coming true and I don't want anything to happen to you two. You two might be in danger. Before they could say anything back, the wind started to blow as I looked at Harry, but then suddenly we saw the cup appear and ran toward it. Once we got there, Cedric glanced at me and Harry. Go, both of you. Harry, you saved me. Harry, Miranda, take it. Harry responds, we all should go. Together. 1, 2, 3. We grabbed onto the cup in time as we got ported into a graveyard. What the hell? Where am I? Wait, is the cup a portkey? This doesn't make sense. Harry gets up and asks, Cedric, Miranda, you okay? I nodded my head as Cedric and I stood up and he responded, Yeah, you? Harry nodded his head also as Cedric asked, Where are we? I have no idea, I responded looking around. I heard Harry mutter, I've been here before. What do you mean, Harry? I asked. I heard from Cedric, It's a portkey. Harry, Miranda, the cup is a portkey. I turned and saw Cedric standing in front of the cup. So I was right. Harry stated, I've been here before, in a dream. I started to look worried, glancing at what Harry was standing as he stated in worry. We have to get back to the cup. Now. What are you talking about? Cedric questioned as he started to walk toward Harry. Harry started to shout in pain, holding his scar, as I took a step towards Harry. Harry, what is it? Cedric asked the same question, but Harry told us, Get back to the cup. Harry, I'm not leaving you here, I immediately responded. Getting scared, I turned around and looked and saw Wormtail, and he was holding Voldemort. Only Voldemort wasn't human yet. Bloody hell, Harry and I were right. and Cedric was concerned about Harry, so he didn't budge. Harry shouted in pain again as he held his scar even more. I stood close to Harry, becoming more scared and worried by the second. Cedric walked up to Wormtail and asked, "Who are you and what do you want?" Cedric had his wand up the fence, trying his best to be brave. I hear Voldemort say to Wormtail, "Kill the spare." Before I had a chance to say anything, Harry and I both yelled as we saw it happen. "No! Cedric!" I started to cry softly as Harry whispered to me while in pain, "Miranda, please hide somewhere." I nodded my head as tears were falling and I stared at Cedric's dead body. "I'll sit out of sight for now." A while later. I truly can't believe he is back alive and that I quietly witnessed this. I've been watching nearby and I'm currently hiding behind a tombstone, trying to not let anyone see me. I watched as Harry was being held and Voldemort was talking to him. "And I can touch you. Now." He touched his scar as Harry winced in pain, and Voldemort responded to it. Just when he stopped touching Harry, I came out from what I was hiding and shouted, "Stay away from Harry." Harry turned his head to look at me as if he had to say something, but he didn't. "Oh, Miranda, what a lovely surprise. You certainly have grown from when I last saw you. Should I remind you what really happened when your sweet parents gave up their lives just like Harry's? You're not as famous as Harry, but otherwise you are to be remembered." Harry didn't say anything as he knew that this was my fight, but I quickly looked at him, and he knew that I was telling the truth all along. I walked closer to where everyone was standing. "No, you don't have to remind me because I remember everything perfectly, Tom. Snape was there anyway, and I know everything because of him." He walked close to me. "Oh, sweet Miranda, don't you know he helped me kill your parents in the first place? He couldn't refuse after all." Even with him being so close to me, I stood guard, but silently deep down, I was afraid. I know he couldn't, but Snape and I talked about what happened one day. He told me what really happened. I even know that after you left, he stayed with me until the next morning. He is as bad and evil as me. Severus is a cruel, unhearted man, but I trust him. I chuckled at the thought that Voldemort actually trusts someone, but I only trust Severus. I responded, "Severus is not cruel and evil. He may be, but I know I am starting to understand the true man that he is. He isn't sure about love anymore after Lily Pollard died, but he can find love again. There is a loving, caring side to him. He isn't unhearted. He hides his feelings because of his past. He doesn't choose to be evil, but has to be sometimes." Voldemort laughed. "Oh, Miranda, now I understand. You're in love with him, aren't you?" I didn't say anything as I looked at Harry. He shook his head and signaling me not to say it. It would probably be a horrible thing if I admitted to the man that everyone is afraid of my real truth. Then Voldemort ignored me and went back to Harry. Since I was standing alone, I watched from a distance as they were talking and Voldemort wanted to kill Harry. I watched silently as Harry struggled but bravely fought against him. I guess it was both of their magic meant from their wands. This was incredible. They got into a bubble-looking thing, and I couldn't see Harry. It ended up backing up until I realized that I was at Cedric's body. My instincts kicked in as I crouched down with my hand in the cup and the other in Cedric's body. Soon, their magic was suddenly separated, and Voldemort was wrapped around it. Harry and I quickly looked at each other as we grabbed onto the cup and got back to the arena. People started cheering, and music started to play as Harry and I lay on top of Cedric's body, crying. I was crying even more than Harry from everything that happened. I was traumatized. I heard footsteps and noticed that Professor Dumbledore came running towards us. "Harry, Miranda, what happened?" I said it between tears. I glanced up to see Severus a few feet behind Dumbledore. "Voldemort's back." Harry immediately jumped in. "Cedric. He asked me to bring his body back. Miranda and I couldn't leave him. Not there." Harry started to cry again, and I never stopped as I was shaking. Dumbledore knelt and looked at us. "Harry, Miranda, it's all right. It's all right. He's home. You all are." I watched as Professor Moody grabbed Harry as he got up, and Severus gently grabbed me and helped me up. My back was against his chest, and I couldn't stop shaking, but I felt safe. He rubbed my upper arms, trying to soothe me, and held me in a way so I couldn't leave. He whispered in my ear as I took a shakily breath, "It's all right. Don't worry. I'm here now, sweetheart. You were so very brave." Cedric's father came through the crowd as he kneeled and started to cry loudly. "Let me through! That's my son! My boy!" Dumbledore rubbed his back as I looked and saw Hermione and the others nearby. I looked towards Cho as she was heartbroken and started to cry too. Seeing all of this was making me want to cry hard all over again. I can't believe he got killed for no reason. I can't believe he's back. Professor Moody took Harry somewhere, but I don't know where. Severus and I were a few feet away from the arena as we watched silently, including Dumbledore soothing Cedric's father. Not able to take much more, I turned around, put my head against Severus' chest, and started to cry.